Hey Taurus, welcome back to my channel. This is Jen with Lighthouse Oracle, and I am bringing you the energy check-in for the week. We're just going to look into the tarot cards to see where you're at today and some advice from the oracle cards, okay? So let's go ahead and move these to the side. Let's just see where your energy, really quick. See where your energy's at. I'm using the Rider-Waite Tarot deck today. Any of the decks that I use, if I don't talk about them while I'm shuffling, can be found in the description box down below. Okay, all right, that's let's take a look. So first came out was the Nine of Swords to start. Ooh, then we have the World in reverse, Death in reverse. We have the Five of Wands in reverse, and then the Seven of Cups. Okay, so very, very heavy energies here. You're not doing well, Taurus. But I also wanted to point out, oh my gosh, this is like burning. Let's just like move that to the side. Okay, so starting off with the Nine of Swords, I'm sorry, the Eight of Swords, oh my gosh. With the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Swords represents more of like a mental cage, like a block. And what I'm seeing with all of these three coming out in reverse at the same time, I feel like you're like in a conflict with yourself, and there's almost like I'm kind of seeing like a battle with, okay, so with the Five of Wands in reverse, the Five of Wands generally represents like rivalry, challenges, obstacles. But then with the World and Death in reverse here too, it's almost like, you're wanting to see change. It's like resistance to this death and rebirth. With this death, the Death card isn't like meaning like actual death, like dying, but it's more like a like death of the old self, or like a death of a like getting rid of what no longer serves you, whether it's an old like a toxic habit, or a just negative self-talk, or even just old ways of thinking. Maybe there was like and I feel like there's either like a resistance to this, but also with the World card like to me resembles like a cycle of completion. The World is the last card in the major arcana, so then to me it's like kind of refusing to let go of the old, and then like it's kind of like not fighting with the change of a cycle. And it may be because there's a lot of fantasy with the Seven of Cups here. It kind of seems like, oh, that's like there's just so much going on in your head, and that can also correlate with this Eight of Swords. And I keep getting Nine of Swords, and I like the Nine of Swords talks a lot about anxiety and depression and like sleepless nights, which kind of does make sense with this Eight of Swords here too. It's like that mental block that that's stopping you from moving on into a new cycle. And so and I see that here too, this could also be, there's like a lot of just very overwhelming amount of thoughts. And the Seven of Cups kind of does talk about fantasy too, maybe too many dreams, too many choices. Maybe it's like overwhelming yourself too with the amount of choices you have to make, and then the amount of maybe dreams that you have, and maybe the dreams are like not following through. So then it's like in order to get these dreams that you want, maybe you have to let something go, or let something die, or let a cycle end, or let a conflict resolute. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting right now. Pretty heavy energy. But then again, it's also like, it's not impossible to break out of it either. Like, you can very well flip this around, right? Like, it's all about like change of perspective. This Eight of Swords in particular, I always notice that you see all these swords around her, but there's like a giant opening here. And if you notice, her eyes are tied, her arm, like she's bound here, but her legs are not. And so it's kind of like, in a way, I see this as like, yes, a mental cage, but also like, if you think about it, it's almost staying stuck because of fear, right? It's like someone's in your ear telling you, oh, you know, since you're blindfolded, you can't see. And then these swords here being like thoughts, like, oh, well, you know, if you step forward, you're gonna get stabbed or something. Like, if you step forward this way, you're gonna get injured because you're surrounded by swords. In reality, it's kind of just, they're all behind her. And there's just like one on the side, but she could very well just get out of there if she wanted to. And I think this is all about that choice with the Seven of Cups here too. It's like choosing, it can very well be overwhelming if you know, looking at all these cups, there's like, you know, in these cups, there's like a figure here. It kind of looks like a mushroom to me, honestly. But then there's also like a person here. There's like a snake in this one, like a dragon, this wreath thing. The crown that like Julius Caesar wears. I don't know, like this thing. I don't remember what it's called, but also like jewels, and then this castle. So then it's kind of like looking at, I'm almost kind of getting like a sense like I want all of this like right now, like today, but which is also causing like a mental block too, because you're not allowing yourself to get out of this. This is here, like in here, right? In your mind's eye, in your block state, you're thinking about all of this. How maybe like, you know, your world's kind of upside down, you don't want to get rid of, you know, there's something you're not letting go of, there's a cycle that's not ending, and it's like a constant conflict with, you know, either pursuing your dreams, you know, getting what you truly desire, versus allowing yourself to stay stuck in this energy. So let's look at the Oracle cards and see what Spirit's advice for you is. It's a lot. And when I say a lot, of course, like, you know, it's not easy, but also it's also not impossible to change either. And that's like literally the beauty of free will, is that, you know, as stuck as we may feel, and as much as we may think like, oh, this is just the way life is, I'm gonna be miserable forever. And oh my God, okay. Yeah. As I'm saying it, the first card that pops out, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna like zoom this in. I'm gonna zoom into y'all. But it says, believe in magic. It says, open your eyes and see the magic that's all around in nature. The fairy of the Northern Lights says you are part of nature, so you're magical too. That's so cute. I love that. Okay, and oh my gosh, can we talk about like color coordination? Like, yes, look at that. Also, stargazing. It says, when you gaze at the stars, you give yourself fairy focus. Your intuition will flow more freely and reveal what you need to know about your situation. So, oh my gosh, I love this. First of all, and that's exactly kind of goes along with what I was saying, that, you know, although it's difficult and it's heavy energy and it really sucks. Like, just being here, no, I mean, who wants to be here? Who wants to just be fighting with people and just, you know, especially if like, see, and what I'm also getting too, it's like fighting with like 5 different versions of yourself too, like fighting for this dream, this one, and it's all in your head. It's like an internal battle going on, which sucks. Like it obviously, it sucks and it's awful. And I'm sorry you're experiencing this kind of an energy, but I also with these two cards coming out, it's like, excuse me, I'm getting like a little lump in my throat. And I was just about to talk about how there's like this green, bluish color and also this like violet color, which the blue generally talks about the throat chakra and speaking your truth. Whether it's speaking your truth to yourself and acknowledging like your truth. What is your truth, right? Like, you know, do you really want to be stuck here? Do you want to move forward? Are you comfortable in this area? Like, if this is like what you identify yourself with, maybe, you know, it would be difficult to get out of it. But is that your truth though? Is that like at its core your truth? Maybe it's something, you know, you've identified with, you know, it's like, oh, okay, I've experienced this over and over and over again, so I identify with it. But that's not you, if that makes sense. So also too, with all this violet, it's like the throat and like the third eye, basically. The third eye is like seeing clearly, and when it's saying stargazing too, I feel like I get in a very meditative state when I like stargaze, and it kind of gives you a broader perspective, right? Seeing the bigger picture. Like, think about the fact that we are literally a floating star around our universe. Like, we're like pixels of dust just like hanging out in the universe, and somehow we're just like, okay, we're just gonna go with it, you know? There is a bit of like mysticism with nature and with how the world works in general, and there's so much to believe in. And it's also like believing that this can change, believing in the magic of change, that it can happen. And when it says here too, your intuition will follow more freely and reveal what you need to know about your situation, it's like, it's allowing yourself to get to that place where you're honest with yourself, where you're truly honest, like, not, oh, well, I want all this stuff, but then I also, like, this is fine too. Like, this is just who I am. And it's more like, at your core, getting rid of, like, if you were, it's like going on an island, right? And you can only, like, pack 3 things. What are those 3 things? You know, and really getting to know yourself and allowing yourself to follow your intuition, or at least listen to your intuition. If you're not going to follow it, at least listen to it, you know? Just, I guess, just being open. And oh my gosh, okay, see, and so just the first word, it says open your eyes, like your third eye. And your eyes, in knowing that there is magic all around. Like I said, we are a ball of energy, of floating around other balls of energy. Like, isn't that cool? Like, and like, my gosh, like, there are so many more universes and galaxies and solar systems, and to think that, you know, it just, I don't know if it reassures anyone, but to me, it kind of gives me that my problems seem so much more smaller on like the biggest scale of things, right? Like, on this grand universe, like, my problems seem so much smaller, and so it seems a lot easier to handle at that point. Which it's a very strange concept, but I mean, if you want to try it, just like imagine your problem, right? Like, say if, you know, I'm having trouble at work, or I'm having trouble with a relationship, or I'm having trouble in the family, and it's like, literally just like zoom out. Just like see your family and then zoom all the way out, and then just notice how it just changes your perspective. And I hope that it changes your perspective in a good way. You know, sometimes there are like this, on the flip side, it's like, you know, it gets to like a cynical place of like, why does it matter? Nothing matters. And that's not the point. It's like allowing yourself to believe in magic, allowing yourself to believe in the impossible and the things that, and in like miracles and magic. And, you know, I mean, I'm looking at a bunch of cards and like interpreting cards, and I connect with it. And I mean, you know, like, elements are pretty interesting, right? Like, the construct of a flame it's still in itself very mystical. And I'm just going off on a tangent, but let's go into a last card of the spread. And this is, I love this deck. It's called, I hope you didn't hear me like just crack all my bones in my body, but this is called Notes of, I'm sorry, I have to look at the box. It says Notes from the Universe on Love and Connection. So we're going to get into this for like one last message from Spirit. Let's see what they have for you. Little note. Oh, here we go. That's the one. All right. Ooh, and it says sometimes the good is hidden. Let me like zoom this in. Right? And then on the reverse, it says find the good in what they say or ask. It's always there, even if they didn't mean for it to be there. Sherlockly yours, the universe. P.S. Clues for what you want are hidden all around you. And that's so interesting. And it's like the good is hidden in some situations, like, you know, you're having, it's like a lot of these not so great experiences, but then it's like you grow into this super strong person, very independent, very, you know, a go-getter, and then you look in retrospect and it's all those bad things or like a series of events that brought you to the good, and it's the good is like sometimes it's hidden. Man. And the hidden is the magic, right? It's like, you know, what we don't see. The magic is what we don't see. And that like the universe is like working with us if we let it. We can also let it destroy us too. So, you know, it's like shifting the perspective to believe in the hidden good, in the mystery of the universe working in your favor. And it's always there. Even if they didn't mean for it to be there, there's always, I don't believe in coincidences too much, at least anymore. I do believe that a lot of things happen for a reason. And what I'm getting here too is like they're all like very planetary, which is interesting, and it's maybe it's asking you to like stargate, like literally go and stargaze for a bit, maybe get to know your chart, maybe your astrological chart, maybe get to know more about you, you know, get to know more about how you molded to be you. And then it like your natal chart talks about the you when you were born, and then of course during like life and experience and, you know, just experiencing life in general, you kind of shift, right? You mold into you know, a different version of you because it adapts to the circumstance at the time, or, you know, and then you pile on the circumstances and those experiences, and then it shifts you and it shifts your focus. But it's also like taking that travel back to see where like this cycle started and where the cycle is and how you can, and that's like the first step to seeing how you can change it all and getting out of this mental funk, because then you realize like you find the things that truly make your soul sing and truly make your heart happy. And I know this reading is getting a little bit long, but I feel like it needs to be said because this is such like heavy energy that I just want to let you know that it's okay to have heavy energies once in a while and to feel it out. And because, you know, sometimes we just don't get a chance to feel, and us as humans are like energetic sponges, right? We just soak it all up, and then at some point it gets so heavy that we just like plop, and then it's just like we can't hold it in anymore. And that's why there's, you know, like mental breakdowns, just get really sad because we don't allow ourselves to feel throughout, you know, in more of like a, and I had a talk with a friend about how, you know, our mental garden and maintaining that, and it's about like checking up with ourselves too. You know, we bring our cars in for a check-in, we bring, you know, our physical body in for a check-in, but then we never actually check in with our mental health and our mental garden and our mental space. And so, you know, you go a long way without it, and then all of a sudden all these weeds are growing and you don't know why. So, and it's like, isn't it a lot easier to pluck little weeds here and there, like maybe like once a week, once a month, rather than waiting like years and then it's like a forest of weeds, you know? So that is the card portion of the reading for you. We're going to get into charms really quickly. and see what we have. So I have this, ooh, excuse me, wow. I have this charm tray thing that I got from Black Ridge Co., which I will link in the description box too if you want to check out their Etsy shop. This is not sponsored by them. It's cute. So we're gonna go into your charms, my little pineapple baggie. And I am going to follow this diagram to see where you're at and what let's see, Taurus. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, okay. First of all these keys coming out, and it's like very centralized. When I draw, I really just let it go. But oh my gosh, I feel like, and in doing so, and like analyzing all of this, it's unlocking so many parts of you. And like I was saying, like earlier, backtracking to where you've been so it can unlock how to get out of here. And it's funny because there's 3 keys, so it's like 3 keys of this. We are changing the perspectives of these energies. And I love that. That's really awesome. And I mean, of course, if what I say, take it with a grain of salt. And please take it if it resonates. And if this situation does not apply to you, and if you are not in this energy, please don't take it. This is not for you. But what I'm saying is that in here too, there's like a heart with money. So maybe there's like a key to how to, have better, going through an door of opportunity for your finances, making money from the things that you love and your passion and things like that, instead of, working that 9 to 5 just to get by and just to, and some people prefer that, which that's something they love, right? They are willing to work more like a 9 to 5 job, so then they have more time in their day for other things. And so they're not hell-bent on like a salary, for instance, where, salary jobs, sometimes you work way more overtime because they don't pay you to overtime. But anyways, and then all these other little keys. But here too, there's like a little cross here, which, depending on your faith, of course it could be, the Christian cross, but I kind of see this more as just faith in general, hope, right? And in this section of friends and love, it's like having hope that those friends and those people that love you are there for you, and having faith in your connections and in your, in your relationships. Because, maybe this has given you a reason to distrust. And, of course, when you go through this over and over again, you build up more of a wall and more like you're on guard, and it gets overwhelming. And so you tend to, pull further back from your friends and building relationships. And I think it's Spirit's asking you to have faith. Also here, it's like a cloud and then dream all together. And I feel like it's like having that dream. And there was this post that I saw, and it's like taking everything away, like all your problems, everything aside. What is it that you truly, truly want? What is your dream? Like, picture it. Have like a visual of what that is. Like, is it a large house? Is it a small house? Is it a cottage by the river? Is it, oh, excuse me. Do you want to have like a farm? Do you want to have, kids and a family? Like, what does that dream look like? And it's like that should give you a lot more clarity on how you want to move forward to get that dream. Like, where is it taking you? And then here we have this Cancer, but it came out upside down, so we're going to take that. Imaginative. Oh, that's so cute. So it says imaginative on this charm, and it's on the travel, and there's this little flower here, which is also on the travel, and it's kind of like looking at the beauty of your imagination and letting your imagination guide you towards your dreams and towards like these doors. And it's like, right now we are in a pandemic still and things are going on, but we can still use our imagination. Our imagination is literally looking into the world of potential, the ether, the astral realm of potential, and then just constructing it in your brain, you know, and that's awesome. And then with this turtle here, the first thing I'm getting is take it easy on yourself. You know, slow and steady wins the race. And especially with this, there's like a little mirror and it's like reflecting on the self. Change is difficult, no matter what, even if it's healthy change. Sometimes it's easier to stay stuck in bad habits because we're used to it. Sometimes it's easy to stay stuck in bad cycles because we're used to it. We know what to expect. And sometimes it's like, do I even want to be happy? Like, you know, like as interesting as it sounds, it's true. And it's to allow yourself to go with the flow of the journey. I'm saying this as also like not just like a regular turtle, but also like a sea turtle. And you know how sea turtles can travel thousands and thousands of miles to get to their destination with like almost little to no effort. All they do is like swim to like those currents, and then they're like, they swim into the current, and then the current takes them. So that's like Finding Nemo, right? It's like, oh, hang there, dude, noggin. Anyways, so this is your reading. I'm going to zoom this in for you if you want to take a look. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you found that this resonated with you, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments what you think. I am thinking about taking away the charms from the check-in readings, just so we, you know, I feel like the cards say a lot, so I want to keep this short, but please let me know. I mean, if I do add charms, I'll like let you know. But yeah, so that's all I have for you today, Tauruses. Please take care. Please take care of your mental health. And I really hope that this reading may helped you in some way, shape, or form, and that, yeah. And I'm sending good energy and blessings your way. So I'll see you guys in my next video, okay? Take care. Bye.